Welcome.
Welcome to another episode of Between Friends, over with Team Lockhart here at BeanPunk Montgomery. And today we're going to talk about steampunk. So there's a lot of questions as far as what is steampunk, and people generally don't understand why it's called steampunk, what the punk means, where it derives from, and they kind of don't really understand the entire genre. And that's what we want to talk about today.
Right. I had to look it up. When they named the business here BeanPunk, I didn't understand it. And she said it derived from, Leo said it derived from steampunk. Well, I had to look it up. I looked it up and then I understood what it meant. And she had this event coming up. Y'all had this event coming up. I Dream of Steam that we just had here last Saturday. You'll see some of the works behind us. And I had to go online to know how to dress for it since there's an event. Well, Amazon sells a lot of costumes.
Yes, they do.
And I had a blast. And we came up here in costume the other day, and it was fun.
So to start off with, steampunk comes from a term called cyberpunk. Now, if anybody has watched older movies like Blade Runner, Fifth Element, anything that's science fiction in the future, but slightly dystopian, where the society isn't as nice as you would expect it to be, where technology advances us, but it doesn't really truly advance society. It's better technology, but people aren't living as well. That's cyberpunk. That's the entire genre of books and movies and television series where we explore the future and technology and what technology does to society. Now, steampunk came from that name cyberpunk, where instead of cyber, it's steam because it's based off of a Victorian era technology. So instead of cyberpunk being in the future, steampunk is based on Victorian era, 19th century technology, where everything's backed up into the clothing, the style, the living quarters, the society. But the technology that's involved is based on steam engines and steam pressurized technology. So it's all based on things that really didn't happen, but could have happened that we backed up into. So that's what steampunk is, and that's what this entire subgenre is. And people, it's really easy, it's really fun, because you're able to dress in Victorian era clothing, like what I have. And it's a fun, vivid genre that people just love to do. And it really fits into things like Dickens on the Strand, anything that has to do with Christmas, anything that has to do with older...
kind of like the Victorian age or the 1900s.
So even the old furniture, antique furniture, there are different levels of steampunk. And people, let's say you get some goggles, you put on a hat, and you call yourself steampunk. Right. And that's steampunk. That is true steampunk. There's nothing wrong with that. You're participating in a genre, and these are people that participate. But then there are people that are makers who go out of their way to make things like, for instance, we have there we go, yeah. So this would be somewhat.
The goggles.
And Macavo, who came in and put all this together, he's one of the makers that we have, that he created all this stuff that you can wear, and it's pretty much like cosplay, and it's lots of fun. We have the.
This is just fun. This is a mask. This is just fun. You should see some pictures we took over the event, and it kind of explains what this stuff is.
No, that's obviously, that's of course a plague mask, but it's a plague mask that's done in steampunk style, leather and everything like that. And so we have the goggles, we have the masks, we have jackets, we have all kinds of stuff that makes things steampunk Victorian, with things like gearing, things that are mechanical that have to do with steam and steam technology. So,
well, I didn't really want to know. This is one of my favorite things from the other night. I was going to bring a lot over, but actually a lot sold during the event, more goggles and stuff. But this is so much fun.
These are bracers and gloves on that go with the bracers. And you'll recognize, Macau actually created this leather. He actually was at the Renaissance Festival before. So you'll see some of those leather works before at the Steampunk I'm sorry, at the Renaissance Festival, but he's slowly and gradually merging into the steampunk genre versus just regular leatherworks. So it's really lots of fun. Now, there are also people that make things that are just extraordinary, where they take an entire vehicle, a 4x4 vehicle, and they change it into an entire steampunk type of apartment complex if it's driving out in the desert. It's amazing. If you look it up, you look it up on YouTube, look it up on Google, you'll see some of the makers, and they make some really amazing things. We have a parrot that was made that can talk and speak, and it's golden. It reminds me of the owl from Clash of the Titans, the early 1980s movies. There's more goggles. So that's what steampunk is. It's just a fun genre to participate in, and it's almost like walking around on Dickens on a Strand, except that you're dressed in almost like a time traveler. We had some people come in that called themselves time travelers. It's more of like a cosplay for people that aren't too familiar with things like Star Trek or Star Wars. They don't want to do that type of cosplay, but want to do something that has more to do with some type of style that actually exists, which used to be Victorian.
Well, and think about it. When steam did come out, they wore goggles. I mean, this is a steam era. So steampunk.
Yeah, it's funny because when I used to ride motorcycles, I used to ride goggles like that. I ride goggles all the time.
Well,
right?
that's true. That's true. I love this.
Yeah.
I was here the other night trying it all on. It was fun. I really like these.
So there you go. And Carolyn said, "Hi, April." Now, Carolyn states that steampunk is scientific Victorian, which is basically true. It's going back into the Victorian era and adding things like technology that you wouldn't expect to see back then because it didn't exist, but it's loads of fun to dress up and do. I'll show you one thing. It's
the Victorian era was considered the steam
for instance, this.
Oh, I didn't see that the other night.
This obviously did not exist during the Victorian era. It's a little ray gun type of steam technology thing that was
that's just
created.
Fun.
Yeah, but it's a recreation of the past Victorian era with better technology. That's based on things like tubes and yeah.
Let me see. I didn't play with this the other night. That's one thing I missed out on. Can you see all the detail there? That's cool.
It even comes with a little.
Oh my gosh! I had no idea. Look at that. It even goes in. I want this. Lynn Pepperell, this is what you need for your play. That's cool. I did not see this.
Yeah, the funniest thing is, being in the Army, we had this thing called muzzle awareness. And even this being a fake prop weapon, I was like, oh, okay, you want to point that some other way.
Yeah, really, exactly, you do. Let's have it. Oh, look at that. Oh, my gosh, how realistic. I love that.
Now, hi, Carolyn. Now, Carolyn also mentioned that Wild Wild West was based on steampunk technology, steam weapons. That is true. In fact, the movie Wild Wild West was an introduction about 10, 15 years ago for a lot of people into steampunk, into the steampunk genre, and it's slowly starting to catch steam. Here, and
he's so cute.
And people are starting to get used to the dress, the mannerisms. It's really a lot of fun, and more people are participating. So that's great. And we're not talking people that are just super fans like Trekkies and the average Star Wars fan. It really doesn't take much to take part in steampunk. You really just buying some Victorian. She didn't know anything about it, and all of a sudden now she's a big part of it. She's loads of fun into it. So steampunk, that's what it's all about.
Fun stuff.
Yeah, if you notice that we're missing Leo today, she's actually over at the Conroe location, and she would be here to participate, but she's been part of this all this time. She loves this steampunk the clothing, steampunk dress. Yeah, it looks good, also. It's a very, it looks, the clothing and the dress look good without being super outlandish. People don't look at you like, oh, hey, you're that guy walking down the street as a stormtrooper outfit. No, you're like, oh, hey, that's pretty cool clothing. I get compliments all the time for all the jackets I wear, the the shirts, everything.
He looked
It's
very nice the other night.
wacky.
Go on Steampunk page and you'll see all the clothing we had that night. I was in a dress. It was fun. There were some people in more tight-fitting clothes and corsets. I didn't go there.
Vests, yeah.
Yes.
So it's really it's not hard to do. You probably have
That's
something.
fun.
Yeah, if you have a three-piece suit, you're halfway there
Yeah.
into steampunk and Victorian. You know, any type of like extra like things on the side, watches, things like that. That's when you start getting really into the really neat things. People make watches. They'll make amazing accessories that actually function. You know, it's something like, for instance, that gun doesn't shoot rays and things like that, but people will make things that actually work, and it's really amazing.
Really?
I was talking about the out in the desert, they made this Victorian house on wheels. It drives around. Yeah, no kidding.
Cool.
It looks like a house and it drives around. It looks like an old Victorian house, and it's an entire steampunk community, like 10 people that keep adding to the house and adding to the entire. It's amazing.
That is neat.
There's some people that really go out of their way.
You can really get into this.
Yeah, we even had a person, and I have to put it in here. We've had a person down the street here in Montgomery build a steam engine without the dangerous part of it, which is the steam pressurized steam tank. Yeah, it's based on a solenoid, and it's just a flywheel engine, and it looks really nice. I just have to figure out where to put it. So there's makers all over the place, and he didn't know anything about steampunk. He had no idea. He just made this flywheel engine out of some old parts that he had, and it totally fit into the
gears. A bunch of gears, huh? You put a lot of gears together, metal. Sometimes leather. And
so you never know. You're already a maker and you don't even know it.
Well, if you go to Amazon, I'm not pushing Amazon, but that's the only place I knew to go. There are accessories, purses, jewelry, the gears to make items that you're talking about, the hats, the gloves.
Now, I would say even 5 years ago, none of this stuff, it was hard to find this stuff online. I mean, it was really difficult. People were... in order to find steampunk clothing, steampunk accessories, things like that, you'd have to go to fairs. You have to go to the Renaissance Festival. It was hard to find. Now, it's all over. You're right. It's all over online shopping. It's everywhere. But it's also there's more and more people that are participating into it. For instance, Makalu, he did leather, and now he's doing leather, going towards steampunk, which is what a lot of people are starting to work toward.
Yeah, and I'll get something over here that's metal with the gears that he's done as well and show that in a minute. But yes, Amazon is a great place. I've really gotten into steampunk now, and I'm at home with my little mouse going click, click, click on Amazon. And Ken goes, you could go to Goodwill and get some of that probably. I'm going, well, yeah, I could, but I can't do this with Goodwill. I can't tap here, that button. But he's right. You can make your own outfit, I'm sure, buying pieces here and there.
Now, we actually were planning on taking this wall and turning it into a pipe. We got a bunch of different pipe fixtures, things like that, pressurized valves. So in order to put against this wall and not really function, but that's just to make it look like a boiler.
Gold or something.
I haven't had a chance to, but that's something else you'd like to do as well. Yeah, so that's
what metal like.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be fun. I would like to do that. It's neat. Got any comments? Like, be quiet.
Oh, okay. Well, Carolyn's on her way to the gym. See Carolyn. Hi, Cindy.
And Leo, I'm sure, says hi. She just is busy right now.
No, I'm sure she is. Olivia, who's working with us, says hi.
Yeah. And everybody's busy. I do have some shout outs real quick.
Sure.
I don't want to forget anybody. I went online, and Leo and I, we tease a lot saying that we are just the selfie queens. We take so many pictures of BeanPunk and what we're doing here. We post. And we tease each other about being the queen of selfies. So I asked you, I said, put your best shot out there of yourself. And some did. They went to my page and put them out, and I think I tagged BeanPunk. But Nate Miller, he put his out there, his selfie. He's at in a production room working. Stephanie Wade has her beautiful selfie out there. Katie Ritledge has her selfie out there. Melissa Raidner, she also sent in one. Also, I have some fur baby shout out to Magoo and Chance. They are cute puppy dogs, and the owner, the mom and dad, is Rick and Sherry Seller.
Oh.
So hi Magoo, hi Chance. So we do mention fur babies, and we do want you to support your local shelter as well. So I had to bring in the fur babies and those selfies that came in. Send them on in. We'll put your name out there. Subscribe. You'll hear your name. Go to YouTube and subscribe, and also click on Facebook. Keep up with us.
Yeah, just true. And if you have any questions about steampunk, come over in their shop. We'll explain to you. Our shop is based on steampunk genre. So
Montgomery and Conroe.
And we're slowly adding more and more to it. So come on in, take pictures, have lots of fun.
Yeah, and one thing we haven't mentioned is all the nice things you can get here to eat. I mean, it is a coffee shop and has wonderful treats and sandwiches. And what are your hours?
Oh, I think we've changed them. I believe it's 7 in the morning until 7 in the evening for most days. I believe 8 in the evening on Fridays and Saturdays. We'll update the hours as soon as we get them updated.
Yeah, but on Sunday here, you're open when?
I'm not sure.
Okay, I think half a day Sunday.
Yeah, I think Leo's changed that. Yeah.
So we'll update that on the hours. But we'll keep you informed. Just make sure you click like on BeanPunk Coffee. Add the @ to it, @BeanPunk Coffee. I kept looking for you under BeanPunk Coffee to tag you, and I had to put the little @ sign to get to you. Add that @ sign. And
well, it's funny when you search BeanPunk, you're gonna get either us or Mr. Bean acting like punk.
Oh, I like Mr. Bean. I like Mr. Bean. Isn't Jason wonderful? And I am going to do a shout out to men. You men, you work so hard, and Jason's such a hard worker.
Well, thank you.
We were at the event the other night, Saturday here, and a lot was going on, and he was such a great host, and so was Leo. But he was trying new technology to get us out there.
We still are.
Yeah, we're still learning. We are still learning. But he's the go-to man, and he is brilliant in engineering. I mean, he knows just about all there is to know in production. He's just
my head's getting bigger. My head's getting bigger.
It should, because he's a good man. He's a patient man. He puts up with Leo and I. But he's a very brilliant man, and I'm going to have him teach me what he has taught himself on this YouTube channel and all the Facebook things that he's doing to get us out there. You were doing something with Castor, I believe, the other night.
Right. Yeah. That was the Summitcast application, but you have to get through the phone. I was hoping to do it through the webcam, but no, I get to do it through the phone, I think.
Okay. So see, we're learning, we're still going, but we're getting better as we go, and thanks to Jason. And and Leo, the Asian, the Brit, and the Texan.
Yeah,
it's gonna work.
All right.
Well, we'll talk to y'all later, and y'all make sure to come by, okay?
Take care.
Bye-bye.